Hello and welcome to your post-match Raw here on the home of the champions, Anfield Index Pro, podcasting to you from my field in beautiful rural Ireland. I'm Trev Downey, and joining me to give their immediate reactions to Liverpool being champions, and that's all that matters, are Dave Hendrick and Karl Matchett. Delighted to have you boys along for the last one. Dave, uh, the thing that we wanted so badly has happened. It feels, I won't say anticlimactic, but I'm still getting my head around it. It's such a phenomenal achievement that it feels as if I've been selling it short in my own mind all this time. Um, there's so many things that need to be said. I think we'll probably only get into our flow over the next 4 games when we're doing these shows, and we can just properly relax and say, "Oh, do you remember that thing that happened?" You know?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, that's the thing, because it's been like we've known now for quite a while that this was going to be the outcome, that we were going to win the league, and that it was just a matter of when, not if. Like, there is that kind of feeling. And the fact that, we've gone out today and we've won it in the manner that we've won it in is just really nice as well, though, isn't it? Like, to do it with a bullet point, not to go out and kind of stumble over the line, because a lot of the performances recently, it has sort of felt like we weren't playing at our best. But once we got level today, it was just a procession, and I thought a really good representation of what this team is.
Mm.
But it's also, like you were saying, you don't get the trophy today. So you get that feeling of celebration, but you don't get that visual of Van Dijk with the trophy in his hands.
Mm.
And but the great thing about that is we get the celebration today, and we'll get another one at the end of the season when we get that trophy after the Crystal Palace game. And we get to watch Chelsea give us a guard of honour next week. And then we get to watch Arsenal give us a guard of honour the week after. And then Brighton will give us a guard of honour. And then Palace will give us a guard of honour. So there is those moments coming that will reaffirm the fact that this incredible achievement has been accomplished this year by a team that was written off by a lot of people, by a club that everybody said was going to fall off, from your Gary Nevilles to the array of pundits on the different outlets that didn't give us any chance, to all those talking-headed fools that have YouTube channels and get their faces put on Sky because they'll say stupid things. Every one of them wrote us off. None of them gave us a chance. Let's be honest. There's 4 of us on this call. None of us thought we were going to win the league this year. We all knew we'd finish in the top 3. We all knew that we'd probably underachieved the last number of years under Jurgen for one reason or another. Injuries was a big factor. City were obviously a big factor with, the fact that they're a petro state with all that money behind them and all the corruption that they undertake. But there was this feeling at the start of the year of nerves, I thought, because it's the first season without Jurgen, first season in 9 years without Jurgen. And from early on, there was just this feeling of calm with this team. And we built ourselves a lead. And myself and Karl have always said the way to win the league against Man City is to blow them away in the first half of the season. Now, we were helped by the fact that they were, from late October onwards, they were dreadful. But we did our part regardless of them. We have done our job this year, and this is fully deserved by this team. This team deserves to be champions. And people can say whatever they want about, oh, it's a weak league. That's all bullshit. It's just, the league is the league. You win whatever league you play in. There was never that energy when City were winning the title by 15, 18 points. There was never that energy the year United ran away with it. There was never energy like that for any other club. It's only for us because people just want to try and tear us down. But they're not tearing this down. They're not tearing this down at all. We are deserving Premier League champions.
And Karl, it's funny, isn't it? Because the calm is the thing. It was, something we all remarked on in the opening games of the season. And as the little run began to build, we talked about how there was a strange sense of calm about the Liverpool performance. And again, not necessarily complete dominance from the start of games, not necessarily total dominance throughout matches, but this calm. And it comes down to the guy who stepped into Jurgen Klopp's shoes, a guy who could never be associated with calm. And I mean that in the best possible way. But he's a polar opposite type of personality. He's a real talismanic, shamanic kind of guy. Arne Slot is a far cooler, more reserved customer, and yet I feel has had this really profound influence. And in the same way that people, like Dave says, have been eager to point out how Liverpool are falling over the line. We've seen that narrative debunked. Everyone's seen the screenshots. Everyone's seen the first 16, next 17 games. Everyone's seen the consistency around that. And again, just to give him props in the very early goings here, a huge amount of that has to be directed, a huge amount of our gratitude for getting ourselves to be champions, the thing that all of us fans dream of. We have to, look straight at that lovely shiny headed fella and say, hey, cheers, buddy, because there's a huge amount of it is down to him, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, almost all of it down to him, to be fair. Like, not just in terms of like he's the manager of the team and all the rest of it, but all the stuff that you've mentioned, like coming in and having to deal with the uncertainty and people being unsure. And, not even just Arne Slot, but even above him, because it was such a big change over summer with Richard Hughes coming in, Michael Edwards coming back. Like, there was a lot of decisions which had to be made, and any of them could have gone badly. Like, you've seen other clubs who, I'm not even talking about necessarily title winning clubs, but just other clubs who have to turn over managers or who have had a really, really good run of success, and then eventually you get it wrong. Like, you can see what happens to a club when they just get one appointment wrong, when you appoint the wrong sporting director, or you appoint 17 sporting directors and have to sack 3 of them, or you get it wrong with one of the managers that you're hiring after someone so charismatic. And any of those things could have gone wrong, and Arne Slot is a big part of the reason why all of those have turned out right. Now, obviously, there's more to consider in terms of like transfers, let's say, from sporting directors or whatever, those people above. But the point is that they still had a big input on bringing in Arne Slot. And like you say, he's had the biggest overall impact on what we've done this year. And just nobody can touch us this year. Like, Dave's right that we capitalized on Man City losing their own form, but there's a lot of other teams out there who could have done something to Liverpool, and just not really anyone has ever come close to us at all.
They haven't. And just for the sake of pulling that apart as well, just to blitz all of these narratives, because I think it's really important that we kind of shove this stuff right back in the faces of people that are trying to do it. They're all out in force today again. The whole, oh, nobody cares, it doesn't matter. You're worse, really, if you get upset by them. It's probably the only thing to do is point it out for the absolute foolishness it is. But just in terms of what you've said there, I mean, it was up to other teams to put it up to us. But I've heard Dave outline on his show very recently, at least twice, and I've went and got my old fashioned pen and paper out myself and had a look with the computer in front of me. It wouldn't really matter if Arsenal had been, inverted commas, at it.
No.
If City had been, inverted commas, at it. Liverpool have been so solidly successful in terms of getting points on the board that quite literally, yeah, I'm delighted if you bring your challenge, but let's examine what your challenges were previously. Let's examine the points you had when you were having, inverted commas, successful seasons previously. Yeah, we're still ahead of you. This is the point. This is what needs celebrating today, is the glorious consistency of this lot. It's not there in the performances every week. But, I grew up in an era where Liverpool were successful and had to have my early adulthood ruined by watching United teams who weren't impressive every week, but won games in Fergie time continuously. They were underwhelming from week to week and would win games and get them over the line. If we're into that kind of a spell, if that's the kind of thing we're at, I'm all for it. Carl, just to go to you first on that and then to Dave.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I've seen all the things this week about Arsenal sort of had such a good year last year, and if they'd have put that year together, they'd have won the league this year, that kind of thing. That is also absolute arrant nonsense. Arsenal had one of their historically good seasons last season, ever. They got 89 points, and I think their record is it 90 or something?
90 in the unbeaten.
Yeah, so we are on 82 now after that win. We've still got 4 games left. Arsenal last season aren't winning this season's with the points tally. Like, even we drop off in the way that we did after the title win for a couple of games last year. I still think we go on and get 6 more points, to be perfectly honest, from the last 4 games. So I'm not having that as an argument. The point is also they didn't. Like, we've gone over and over this. We said this right from the start of the season, as it wasn't initially as a this is why Liverpool are going to win the league. It was a marker of how close can we be. You got 10 games, roughly 10 games that you can not win to win the title. And we're still on 9 now. Like, only 2 defeats, 7 draws, 9 games that we haven't won. Arsenal are on 16. Newcastle 15. Man City 16. Nobody else has come close. Simple as that.
This time last season, with 4 games left in the Premier League, Arsenal had 77 points. 77. So they wouldn't be where we are.
No.
City had 79. Okay, so we're ahead of where both of them were last season. The year before, when Arsenal were running away with it, then bottled it in hilarious fashion, they had 81 points. So again, sorry, excuse me, I'm wrong. They had 78 points. So we're ahead of them from that season too. Manchester City had 82. So we're level with where City were in the 22-23 season. But we're better than both last season. So people talk about, this Liverpool team not being a dominant team. We're going to end this Premier League campaign having been top of the table for 32 weeks. That's 32 match weeks that will end.
Fucking funny.
With us as top of the table, right? Just to give you the numbers across the last 15 seasons. City last year, 10. The year before, 8. The year before, 24. The year before, 19. Us in 1920, 37. So there's one team more dominant than this one. City 18-19, 20. City 17-18, 34. So there's 2. That's 2
Reds, it's Jack here, and that was a clip from one of Anfield Index's audio podcasts. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you do like, share and subscribe to keep up to date on all things LFC. We record around 100 audio podcasts every month, with our shows featuring match-going fans, top journalists, professional analysts and even Liverpool legends along the way, with the great Dane himself, Jan Molby, joining us every single week. If you want to listen to all our podcasts for free, head over to anfieldindex.com/podcasts. Our audio shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Anfield Index. Or if you prefer to listen to all our podcasts in full and without any ads, why not head over to AI Pro today to check it out now at anfieldindexpro.com. If you want to get involved in the great growing community of Liverpool fans, check out the Anfield Index Discord. The link is in the description. Do get involved with that, from Reds around every corner of the globe. For now, Reds, hope you enjoyed this video.